Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. In this video we are going to create this line graph for visualizing data like YouTube video analytics using pure JavaScript, HTML and CSS. Let's go to the code. First we are going to create index.html, creating some files, index.js for JavaScript. Inside of this we are going to create some HTML elements, visualization tool using JS. Here we are going to create one section. Inside of this section another section for card, ID card. You will see in a minute we are going to use it. So for drawing those data lines and data points, we are going to use SVG path. That's why I'm going to give this an idea of SVG path. I'm going to import the script src.js. So for styling, I'm not going to waste your time and going to just copy paste my style that I created already. This is what I'm created this already. So okay, copy and Control V. So that's this version, the style for this. And yeah, actually we are done here from HTML and CSS. Let us bring our HTML here. Const svg path is document.get element by id svg path, and then the other one was card that we created, card element, and we are going to create svg element document.create element ns. We are going to create element with namespace. When you are working with SVG is XML based elements, so you need to define a namespace for that. This is the namespace automatically, and this the name of this element is going to be SVG. We're going to create the same a path element svg path, and then we need the rest we are going to create with a function. Let's create a function here, function and data visualization. It takes an array, it takes frequency of the data, and let's see what else is. We are going to, for example, as you see in the demo, when we hover over each point, it shows the day and the date, the views and the date. So every data point represents a day. So const number of days is equals to array.length. Okay, array.length, we need to know the number of days. We need to know the max value of our array. Math.max, and then populate that, and then array. We need to we should calculate the width of our graph. Width is Fiji is going to be, we should have the frequency is number of days time frequency. Frequency is the distance between each point, so it is the width of our SVG. You have for example this point, and the space between each of them is that frequency that I call, and then we have number of days, so the width of this is number of days times the frequency to calculate it dynamically. And then I want to okay, const height SVG is going to be the max value, the maximum of our data, plus 30. I like to give it 30 because it should look better, like a free space here. And then we create this. It is bring this SVG elements inside of it, so that you can export it. And then we are going to determine the width and the height of our SVG element dot set attribute ns. It is also, we are working with the XML based element. It is going to be null because the namespace is given to the element itself, and then the name of the attribute is going to be width, and the value of attribute is going to be width SVG. And then I'm going to do the same for the head SVG, and it is going to be head. I hope this is the head of our SVG. And for the path, we are generate a string for the path, so I call it path string is equals to so in path you should have m, which stands for move to, and then the x value for the start of our path. This is baseline, okay, and then plus we are going to concatenate some values here, which is the width of this SVG, this is the x value, plus space, plus the head of the SVG, which is the y value, which comes down, and this the width and the height is in x is the height and the width is head. This is going to be in this point, as you see on my mouse cursor. and this is that. Plus we are going to draw also a line here, so space L, and the x value of L is going to be 0 plus 0 plus space plus, and the end of the line is going to be the height. svg path dot set attribute ns. Again we give it null here because we give the namespace to the element itself, and the value for the path is d, and the value for the path is path string. I made here a mistake. This is the start and the end of the line. Is it is actually the width svg. So let us call our function what this is doing. Is going to do nothing because we have to append this element. Now we have svg element and dot append child of this is svg path. This path should go in svg, and svg itself should go to that section here. It should come inside of this section path. Then svg path dot append child svg element. So this is the base parent or graph container. Let's call our function data visualization with this with the array that we don't have. I already have here some an array. Control C, array of data, Control V, going to copy, paste here, and the frequency I'm going to give again like 30 to be strong, to be a wide graph. And let's see, hopefully okay, for now we see nothing. It's inspect it. There's a class field to append child node new element contains the parent visualization 24 27 append child of sorry I made a mistake here. This is svg path. Let's call it svg path parent. Oh my god. See, Control V, svg path is coming here. Okay, voila. This is our svg without anything, with a base line as you see here. A very little dot you see here. So the console should be open to see more about that. And for now, for each data point we are going to generate a string. or append that for let line or d for the data start from 0, d is less than days. It is the length of our array, so we don't need to again say array is not linked plus plus. And here we should create the path string. Here let us calculate the height and the weight. Const y value is equals to height svg minus the data path to I. X value equals to d times frequency that we have. This is I because mostly you work with I give it here I2, but it is a T. And then the path we are going to create a new string to make our life easier. New string is equals to line to where line to the x value plus line to x value, and then plus plus y value, and then path string equals to path string plus new string. Actually you could just move it here, and that's it. Actually save our work. As you can see now, this is what happened to that. And the last thing is we should close that path. Okay, before we set to that, we are going to say path string plus z means close the path. You see now it closed the path. Now as you see there is a different between here, and it comes straight to here, so we should end it properly. To end it properly, we should actually determine the end of that graph. Let's say const ends, and this end is going to be the head of this VG. It is the y value minus the data path which is in this -1, which is the length of that -1, and we are going to apply this to our string, which is path string plus I'm going to say line 2 plus width of the SVG plus the ints plus the ints. Now this will give us a very nice index. You see here it goes to the last item, and then ints the graph. Before that it did not show actually these 2 points. So yeah, this is about that. And now that we have the graph, we should add line and circle for each point, and text for dividing the data into 3 lines and showing, as you see here, 0, 60, 120, 180. These are the lines, and you have the same actually also on YouTube. So we are going to create that. And to create that, we are going to create here G tags for grouping other tags. Okay, we should create 3 groups tags here. Const G element circle for grouping the circles. We're going to draw circle in our SVG, and here document dot create element in is the namespace, and this is going to be 1G, and copying them and change this circle to line, and change this to text. So grouping them in one place. Let's first create a line. Let's let the user to determine how many lines the user wants. Line count. For let L equals 0, L less than line count, L plus plus. Now we are going to create here a line. Const line element equals to document dot create element in its namespace line, and then copy this also for text, because line and text are the same place. Text element, and then every line tag must have 4 attributes. The start of the line and the end of the line. Line el dot set attribute in is null, and we are going to give it x1. We don't know the x value. X1 is always from the 0, which means a line always starts from x0. This is the x0 of this. This is the x end of the x, which is the width of the graph. so it is always 0 y1, this is y2, and this is x2, and the x2 is always the end. Width of the SVG, and the y position, we should determine the y position here. Const y position equals to the head of the SVG minus the line times line count times line count, and this is for every line same y position, and then it is y position. This is star, this is end. So as you see here, for example, for line 2, this is 0, this is the width, and the y for both of them is the same, so that's why y position for both of them is the same. And then we are going to append this to the G element line dot append child line element line el should be there, and we should append the group of this also to the SVG. So SVG element dot append child GEL line, and let us see in our data nothing happened. I didn't give the line count here. Starts from that position. You see the line are here, but very low. The head of the SVG is there. Here we need another variable actually here. Const I call it graph line is the max value divided by line minus 1. Because it starts from 0, we have to give it minus 1, and then the max value, the amount of lines that we want, and this is going to time graph line, so that graph line. And now you see that it appear correctly, 3 lines at the right places, and here our lines now have values as you see, x1, y1, x2, y2, as you see in the console. I'm new also on Ubuntu, so I'm gonna zoom in here the lines, and the lines come here. So how can I deactivate here? Okay, so we are finished with the lines, and now we should do the same with for that text. The text tag has also some attributes that we should give. It has dx, where should appear the text, and on which position should appear the text, and what should be the text. So text element dot set attribute ns non xd. I want to give it that it should be always at minus 20, and another, and the x should be, where should be the x. We should also determine that here. That is the width of actually width is Fiji, and the y position is the y position, and the text dot text content should be we should create that. This is also tricky. Text txt is going to be the L times graph times graph line, and this is the txt. Now should append child to the g element text dot append child text element, and let us not forget to append it. G element text to there, and give it also an id. G element text dot id equals to graph text. I already gave it here, text, and let us save it and see where it is going to appear. Oh, all of them appear the same position. What is missing here? Oh, the y. Yeah, a little bit to the other side, like 30. What is wrong now? X D is inspect it this baby dx. I forgot. Now it comes away. Let's make it 20. Okay, we also draw the text on it, and then let's take care of the points. When you hover over points, you should see the data of that point. This was for lines and texts. So this is much better to bring it here. Bring this also on the top. So base lines and elements let's give the circle an ID, g element in circle dot id equals to graph circle. Let's check it here. Graph points, control C, graph points, and here we are going to draw this circle. So const circle element equals to document dot create element ns circle for a circle. We also need some values like circle x, circle y, and it is like radius. So circle al dot set attribute ns null cx, and the value of cx is x value we have already, and cy is we have y value, and r, this is based on how much you want. For example, 1.5 I give it now. And let us add an event listener to this. Circle element dot add event listener mouse over element event. So we don't need that, I think. And this is the card that should be displayed, and we have it already. Card dot style, we are going to change its style equals to it is top position where it should be. It is top position is like y value in pixel. It is left position is the x value, the x value in pixel, and it should be display block from displaying none. And we are going to also give the core dot inner HTML equals to, I calculated the data also dynamically in the demo. So, and also the x value, in order to get it at the center, we should minus the half of the width of that chord. Now as you see, the width of the chord is 150, and 150 divided by 2 here should be the width of the chord. That is already 150. So yeah, and this is x value minus 75. And then the inner HTML, I'm going to just copy in this all and explain you. generate date, Control C, Control V. So what is this? This is a new date. You are calculating the date of each value from now, and then it is in millisecond, and to calculate 1 day in millisecond is 24 hours time hour, which is 1 hour is 60 minutes, and then from minutes to seconds, and from seconds to milliseconds, and then to JSON to get just the date. Otherwise you will see also the time, and then you just insert that here, that you will see. So you have circle, and the event listener, where when you hover over that you will see this. Now GEL circle and dot append child circle element, and here we are going to append that to svg element dot append child GEL circle. Let's see. Okay, the error is here that I use either the downside of copy paste. You got that, but on the wrong place. This is not working properly because I made here a mistake in the style. Here the section is more than 100 pixel for all the sections, so that's why it gives the margin to all of them. So I gave the margin only to this section, and it will solve the problem. As you can see now, that you hover over each point, you see the value of that point at that place. Because the point is very narrow, should really turn that place to see that. To solve this problem, we should increase the size of our circle. For example, make it 3, and then it will come faster. And as you can see, or to make it much better, let's make it 8, and then the style, as you can see, and then you can just go over it, and then in the style let's come name the points, and fill stroke is already none, and also we are not going to fill it, so both none. And now as you can go over them, you see the data for each point. And this is how you create your own graph. Now we used in this tutorial how to create circle in SVG, how to draw circle, draw line, and draw text on SVG element. Now you have a rectangular. With rectangular you can create charts and another type of graphs for your website. For example, if I change this array, I'm going to change this array, for example, very simple. How can I do that? Console.log. I want to console.log all of them in one place. Change generate a new array. Into data path to dot map. Is going to map for every element. It should map elements times 3. I hope it okay. Did generated for me an array with larger number. I'm going to copy this, copy this inside of this array. Let's create a new const data path 2 equals to this array and uncomment the previous one. Now you see that we get this data. Just the points are different, and you go over each data and you see the value of that data. And the same, now let's change the frequency of that. We change it on the array. We change the frequency to be 40. You see, now it is wider. Let's just make it 50. It is much more wider than before. Yeah, let's make the line count to be 6 lines, and then it is going to create that 6 line and divide this into 6 lines. You see, it is very generic, and it is bring it back to its original, or make this time 2, time 3 was a lot. So go to the here. Now this is our, oh no, it is we should calculate not this array but the previous array. This array times 2 instead of time 3, and test our array, and then let's create const data path 2. Now this array, instead of that, uncomment that. You see, and now you get this huge array, and you're going to make this back to 30. Now 30 and 6 lines, and you can make it back to, for example, was 3 lines, and 3 lines but with a bigger data. Let's make it 50 again. It goes again to that, and then yeah, this line. You can just play with that, insert your data from your backend if you fetch those datas and display on your website. I hope you learned something from this video. Thanks for watching. Have great times.